I've removed the diode board. In fact, it was already removed, as this board uses the infamous rubber mounts, which are prone to shearing, and in fact that's what happened with this board. It sheared off the mounts. But what I want to do is show how the wiring goes inside the engine here, where all these components are located. The big wire coming in off the top contains a connector that goes to the voltage regulator, and it also contains two connections that go to the starter relay. And there's a third wire that comes out of it that goes over to the coil. If we come down this big bundle, we can trace how some of these wires go. You'll see here there's this black wire that goes inside the case. That wire comes out and connects over here on the starter solenoid. The next thing that we find is, as the wire bundle comes down, there's a branch that comes off and goes to the brushes on the alternator. And there's also a short black wire that comes off and goes to the condenser. And that connection actually is broken off of the condenser. On this side of the diode board, there's a black wire that comes down and goes to this terminal, which is the Y terminal on the alternator. There's another wire that comes off the other side of the diode board, goes back in through the case, and actually has a ring terminal that connects it to the starter solenoid. Now there's one other wire or two back here that we want to look at on the back of the diode board. This is a ground wire BMW added when they put in the rubber mounts. I'm going to remove it when I replace the diode board, and I'm going to put in the solid metal mounts, so I won't need this ground wire. On the back of the diode board there's a plug here and a blue wire coming out of the big bundle that plugs in. And over on this side there's three wires and a big connector that come in. They route back into the case and come out down here and run to the front of the alternator, and these are where the three phases of the alternator produce power, and that's what goes in to the diode board through that back connector for rectification into DC voltage. So that covers how the wiring is laid out inside the engine here on the front cover.